Welcome, my dear friends. In the third part of the lecture, we will continue from where we stopped in the previous lecture, which we successfully presented in the map. When working with Esri's ArcGIS API for JavaScript, ES modules are commonly used to load and define modules in a modern, standardized way. Here's a brief overview of how ES modules differ from AMD modules within the context of Esri. The differences between AMD, asynchronous module definition, and ES modules, ECMAScript modules, are as follows. AMD modules used in older Esri versions definition. AMD is a module format that allows for asynchronous loading of JavaScript modules. Syntax uses require and define functions to load and define modules. Usage commonly used in versions of Esri's ArcGIS API prior to 4.x. Example: S modules used in modern Esri versions. Definition: ES modules are a standardized module format introduced in ECMAScript 6, ES6. Syntax uses import and export statements for module loading and sharing. Usage supported in Esri's ArcGIS API. Starting from version 4.x, providing a more modern approach. Example: key differences 1. Loading mechanism. AMD asynchronous loading with require and define. ES modules synchronous loading with import and export. Syntax: AMD requires callback functions to handle dependencies. This modules cleaner syntax with direct imports and exports. Integration: AMD less compatible with modern JavaScript tools and workflows. ES modules better integration with modern development environments and tools. Performance: AMD may lead to more complex dependency management. ES modules optimized for performance with static analysis capabilities. Conclusion: the transition from AMD to ES modules in Esri's ArcGIS API for JavaScript marks a significant improvement in module management and syntax. Developers are encouraged to adopt ES modules for a more streamlined and efficient coding experience, especially in modern JavaScript development environments. The ArcGIS Maps SDK for JavaScript is available as AMD modules and ES modules, but this tutorial is based on AMD. The AMD require function uses references to determine which modules will be loaded. For example, you can specify Esri map for loading the map module. After the modules are loaded, they are passed as parameters like map to the callback function where they can be used in your application. It is important to keep the module references and callback parameters in the same order. For more information on the different types of modules, visit the overview guide topic. Very good. In our lesson, we used access token. Why? Definition of access token. An access token is an authorization string that provides secure access to content, data, and functionality in ArcGIS location services. The format is either an API key or an OAuth 2.0 token. Access tokens define the scope and permissions available to your application, and their capabilities vary based on the type of authentication used to obtain them. There are three types of authentication that can be used to obtain an access token. API Key Authentication. This creates a permanent token that grants your application access to location services and with an ArcGIS location platform account, private content. User Authentication, formerly ArcGIS Identity. This generates a short-lived token via OAuth 2.0, authorizing your application to access location services, content, and resources on behalf of a logged-in ArcGIS user. App Credential Authentication. This generates a short-lived token via OAuth 2.0, authorizing your application to access location services on your behalf. Finally, we take this definition. Also in the lecture, we mentioned what is the zoom level and location. Isaw ilkinanstog. Definition of zoom, level, and location. Zoom level is a value that sets the scale for a map view or a scene view. Zoom level value range is 0 to 23. The lower values, 0, 1, 2, are the farthest from the Earth and the smallest in scale. The higher values, by 21, 22, 23, are the closest to the Earth and the largest in scale. The higher the zoom level value, the more geographic details are present. A location is a position or region, point, line, or polygon on the Earth's surface. Very good. We are almost done with the lecture. Thank God, just a summary of what we learned. In this lecture, we have walked through the steps to create and display a simple map using the ArcGIS Maps SDK for JavaScript. You've learned how to set up your environment, write the necessary HTML and JavaScript code, and customize the map view to display a specific area. This is just the beginning of what you can do with ArcGIS. You can now build on this foundation to create more complex maps with multiple layers, interactive features, and data visualization. Thank you for joining this session, and I encourage you to apply what you've learned in your own projects. Keep exploring and happy coding. See you in the next lecture, which will be titled Display a Web Map Like This. Goodbye.